Seething Brexiteers have taken to the streets of London on Friday to demand Theresa May ditch her proposed Brexit divorce deal, warning refusing to do so could result in Britons revolting to see their demands met.
Brexiteer demands May dumps deal, or there will be revolution.
We voted for Brexit because we wanted to reclaim control of our country. We don't want to be governed by unelected bureaucrats that sit on the European Commission. We don't want to be part of a federal European superstate that is going to erode away our rights and take away democracy. This is Britain. We're not European. We never have been European. This is our land and we're taking it back, and if the political class don't like it, then they're going to see a revolution like they've never seen before. It's time to take up the spirit of Oliver Cromwell. It's time to stand up, it's time to rise up, and it's time to reclaim what's rightfully ours. We ain't going anywhere. The yellow vest is just the start. This is going to spread out to the whole country. Thank you.
What's in the future for Britain? No deal?
No deal. We don't want the deal. Dump the deal. Dump the deal. No deal Brexit. Trade on World Trade Organisation terms. Our fishing industry was decimated by the European Union. We've seen mass migration. We've seen the outsourcing of all of our factories going into the EU.
A group of protesters sporting yellow vests swarmed major bridges across London to voice their discontent with the Brexit withdrawal deal the Prime Minister has negotiated with the European Union. One particularly frustrated protester warned Theresa May to expect a revolution from the British people if the demands of the 2016 EU referendum are not delivered. He also claimed Brexiteers would prefer leaving the bloc without a deal rather than continue having Brussels pillage the UK. The unnamed protester said, "We voted for Brexit because we wanted to retake control of our country. We don't want to be governed by unelected bureaucrats who sit on the European Commission. We don't want to be part of a federal European superstate that is going to erode away our rights and take away democracy. This is Britain, we are not Europeans. We have never been Europeans. This is our land and we are taking it back. If the political class doesn't like it, then they are going to see a revolution like they've never seen before." The London protesters were spotted wearing yellow vests to honour the Gilets Jaunes campaign objecting to the presidency of French leader Emmanuel Macron since November. The yellow vest protests erupted out of nowhere on November 17, when nearly 300,000 demonstrators nationwide took to the streets to denounce high living costs and a fuel tax. Roadblocks around the country and violent clashes in central Paris have already taken their toll on the economy. The disgruntled Brexiteer continued, "Time to take up the spirit of Oliver Cromwell. It's time to stand up, time to rise up, time to regain what's rightfully ours. We ain't going anywhere, the yellow vest is just the start. This is going to spread out to the whole country. We don't want a deal, don't want a deal. No deal Brexit, trade on World Trade Organization terms, our fishing industry was decimated by the European Union, we've seen mass migration, we've seen the outsourcing of all of our factories going into the EU. We can't have this anymore. This country has been raped and pillaged, and it's time we stood up for what we believed in." Theresa May travelled to the December European Council summit in Brussels, in a bid to win cast iron legal guarantees that Britain won't be held hostage in the Irish backstop customs union. The EU 27 approved a number of promises that they would also work ensure a deal that supersedes the backstop would be concluded by December 30, 2020, and if it is triggered would only be temporary. EU Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker made clear that he doesn't intend to stay in Brussels to oversee Brexit negotiations over Christmas. He said, "It's good to be informed that Donald Tusk will stay in Brussels over Christmas. I will not stay in Brussels over Christmas because I have had so many meetings with Prime Minister May, who is a good friend, and I admire her because she is a woman of courage doing her job in the best way possible." The bureaucrat insisted talks on the future relationships would begin seconds after the deal is signed off by the House of Commons, which is expected in January. In her own post-summit press conference, Mrs. May insisted that as formal conclusions, these commitments have legal status and therefore should be welcomed. Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more upcoming news.